Hey guys, it's Runachi back here for another What If video. Today we're doing What If Naruto Had the Gamer Part 9, I'm pretty sure, or Part 10. I forgot. Seriously though, I have to end this What If quickly. We've literally got only 2 What Ifs for a few weeks. Luckily, What If Naruto Had the Power to 4 Cardinal Heroes should be almost finished in the next part, and for the part after the next part for What If Naruto Had the 4 Cardinal Heroes, that would hopefully be finished, but the gamer will be here for like a few more parts. Anyways, let's roll on with the What If video. Last time on What If Naruto Had the Gamer, Naruto had just managed to, flood Gato's mansion, along with Team 7 leaving the Wave Village, and Anyways, when Team 7 left the village of Wave, Naruto had created a blood clone with 10% of his chakra, which the blood clone was assigned to take down or to use the alter ego, Shadow Fox, which was the alter ego / disguise Naruto used when he was in the Hidden Mist to collect bounties. So yeah, Naruto would arrive there or back into the Wave Village, or his blood clone would arrive there at least, and Naruto's blood clone would make up a whole act standing in the middle of the village, as he would show that Gato was defeated and would give half of Gato's money to the village of Wave. Though Tazuna got more than the other ones, also the people who worked on making a bridge also got double the amount their pay was. So yeah, Naruto had also, ordered a few things. As with his dungeons, he had managed to unlock a dungeon shop, which Naruto spent 10% of Gato's money on, buying resources for the land of waves. So yeah, now the Hidden Wave is ready, though the Hidden Wave had it up as a debt, so they have to pay it back eventually with interest. Though the Hidden Wave knew that otherwise their village would, they aren't exactly stable at the moment, and they'd need a large boost in order to be able to sell things. So yeah. So 2 months later, the tuning exams would begin. Between the 2 months, they had taken multiple new C ranks. Though Naruto wasn't able to convince them to give a B rank, they got C ranks much more frequently and rarely got any D ranks. Kakashi had been training Sasuke in his Sharingan, which Sasuke unlocked during one of the C rank missions when one of the bandits were about to attack or kill Yakumo, which Yakumo got stabbed by a dagger. Though Sasuke seen this, would rush there to save Yakumo, and Yakumo would survive. Also, that was mainly plot convenience to have Sasuke unlock his Sharingan. Sasuke would have his Sharingan to Tomoe in both eyes. Sasuke would also have a minor lightning or have minor abilities in his lightning affinity, able to use a small amount of lightning chakra to enhance kunai. So yeah, Yakumo has also learned some water range genjutsu, that if someone's in the area, they'd be caught in the genjutsu. The bad thing is that this genjutsu, if another person comes there randomly for I don't know what reason they would. Wait, no. Since there are multiple people in the genjutsu, basically, multiple people in a genjutsu, they can work together. That's the problem with it. So yeah, that's a pretty big problem as they can weaken the genjutsu faster. Anyways, just those are all of Team 7's new abilities. Also, during a few of the C ranks / one of them, Naruto had discovered plans or something. Basically, Naruto discovered some of Orochimaru's notes and a base that Orochimaru abandoned a few years ago. Though Naruto quickly covered it up and destroyed it, covering it in earth so no one would find it. Though Naruto found notes about a resurrection technique along with 2 cells of DNA from the first, second, and fourth Hokages. So yeah, Naruto realized that this is from Edo Tensei, as Naruto already learned Edo Tensei before. So yeah, that would work for Naruto. Which Naruto did test this and was able to revive them all. The problem was, Naruto wasn't able to revive Minato. Naruto was excited to finally meet one of his parents, though the Shinigami won't allow it. Anyways, ignoring that. Basically, Naruto would ask the first and second Hokage questions, as Naruto wouldn't have much time to have them out. As Hashirama and Naruto would get along, Hashirama asking questions about how the village was doing, and Tobirama asked what were the Uchiha clan up to. Naruto said the Uchiha clan was massacred by Itachi Uchiha, which Tobirama just smirked and said, I guess the clan was out of control enough that even one of their own clansmen saw it and decided to destroy the clan. Hashirama would berate Tobirama only to be glared at, and they would argue, only for Tobirama to step back. Anyways, Naruto would ask questions such as if there were more Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails, along with questions or asking about stories of the past battles. Though Tobirama would, after learning that one of Naruto's teammates is an Uchiha, would tell Naruto that make sure not to get close to the Uchiha, because Tobirama knew about the Mangekyou Sharingan and would tell Naruto about that fact. Also about the Eternal Mangekyou, but yeah. Naruto would be shocked by this, though would tell Tobirama that he didn't care about that, as Naruto trusted Sasuke enough to think that he wouldn't go crazy and kill him. Even though Sasuke's already crazy, ignore the fact that Naruto thinks someone who's crazy isn't crazy. Just ignore that fact. Also ignore my horrible PvP skills against magma slimes. Anyways, Naruto would also learn a few more water jutsu from Tobirama in the 10 minutes that they had after talking. Though Tobirama only told Naruto the basics, Naruto had unlocked the skill, though it was at level 1, so it wasn't as strong. So yeah, Naruto began to master his water affinity. Also, Hashirama couldn't teach Naruto anything, but Naruto asked Hashirama what was nature chakra, and Hashirama replied with it was chakra of nature. It increases Naruto's or the user's power by a lot and is a dangerous chakra source. The Senju clan used to have a shrine that was the perfect place to train nature energy, which was where Hashirama trained his, though it was lost after the hidden leaf was built. So at the moment it was probably covered in moss and whatever. Hashirama would give basically the location of it, or around the location of it, not the exact location, though yeah. Naruto should be able to find it eventually. As the tuning exams would finally begin, this time I'm not adding any new people. That would make it far too complex for me to do. That would also increase the time it takes to make this what if finish. And I'm pretty sure people might be getting bored of this, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, Naruto would continue on, as Naruto would realize that if he allowed more contestants in, he could possibly, there would be more opponents to face off with. Though the good thing about that is that if they can't even tell the difference between a simple genjutsu, then yeah, they wouldn't be that strong, right? They wouldn't be the strongest ninja. Also, Naruto would easily realize that Neji, Lee, and Tenten were faking it, as Naruto had used Observe on them. So yeah, if you want to know how strong Lee is compared to Naruto, Lee stands no chance. Seriously. Lee is probably level 41? Probably at level 50. Due to all of his hard work and training, he made it to level 50. Too bad he can't use chakra. Too bad they also don't have the gamer system and can't direct their points still through hard work. We can do that, since we has a lot of hard work. Anyways, let's continue on. We would challenge Sasuke and would easily beat Sasuke. By the way, Sasuke at the moment is around level 41, with Yakumo being not too far behind at a level 34. All of them have surpassed Iruka at this point, or have they? Since I've only mentioned Iruka's level, years ago. That was 2 years ago, Iruka's level. Now Iruka's level is around 40-something. Above Sasuke's, that's for sure. Anyways, Naruto's level would be 107. Having his highest stat now be his, what should be his highest stat? Well, of course, wisdom would be his highest stat since, 150 wisdom. But not including wisdom, what would be his highest stat? Naruto needs more chakra control. So Naruto's chakra control would be at around 107. His vitality would be around 94. His dexterity would be around 101, and his what else was there? His intelligence would be at a level 84, or a 84 would be his intelligence, and yeah, His wisdom is still at 150, not having grown not even one level. Anyways, after Naruto would recheck his stats, Naruto would see that he still had 34 more stat points, which Naruto wondered where he should spend it on. Though Naruto decided that since the demonic control he had was at around 149, 149, which allowed him to control the two-tailed fully demonic cloak and the three-tailed synchronization fusion cloak. So yeah. Though the demonic cloak, in order for him to control the second tail, he'd have to charge it up for a minute straight. So yeah, Naruto would decide that since he sensed another Jinchuriki / Gaara there, Naruto would decide that he'd need more demonic chakra in case it comes to a full Shukaku fight again. So yeah, Naruto would put more points into demonic, allowing him to achieve master demonic chakra cloak too. Anyways, here's how I will explain it. When Naruto first got the demonic control, it was at 0. Once it reached 100, it got to one tail. When it reached, along with the fact that Naruto could use / control the two-tailed cloak, though it took a while to charge. Now, every 50 after that, Naruto gains control over another tail. So, yeah. That's how it works. In order for Naruto to gain full control over all 9 tails, Naruto would have to get level 400 in demonic control if he wanted to control all 9 tails of demonic chakra without having to beat Kurama. Then, in order for Naruto to achieve KCM2, he would need 800 in demonic control. So yeah, that is difficult. Of course, unless Naruto links with Kurama again, which Naruto already linked with Kurama anyway, but yeah. Anyways, by what I meant by Naruto fighting Kurama was Naruto fighting Kurama's chakra, which albeit is easier than Kurama, though it wouldn't be easy by any means. So yeah, for the first stage of the Chunin exams, a lot of people dropped out. And yeah, anyways, for the next stage of the Chunin exam / the Forest of Death, Naruto and Team 7 would move on, as they'd got both of their scrolls required and were going towards the tower. Naruto would then say that he'd have to go, Anyways, Naruto would go to the forest, but this was only a disguise, as Naruto had created a blood clone now with 5% of his chakra. So yeah, the blood clone would be going with Team 7. Naruto would also take down a potion he got from one of the dungeons and drank it, restoring the low amount of HP that was lost. As Naruto would have sensed Orochimaru and was preparing to fight him, as Team 7 and his blood clone were heading off to the tower, they would make it in a few minutes. Naruto would just have to hold Orochimaru off. Naruto would then take his Shadow Fox mask and put it on, putting on a cloak that gave him 10 more, or made him 100% stealthier, and allowed the use, or basically made it so he was faster by 20%. So yeah, that's what the black cloak did. Although Naruto's mask gave Naruto around 5 dexterity. Wasn't there supposed to be endurance or something though? Nah, endurance doesn't exist. Though Naruto's mask gave Naruto 5% resistance to damage, and Naruto had worn a well, powerful armor sort. Naruto's cloak was armor-like. It was as tough as steel, so it wouldn't really break through, which meant it took away 10% of the damage Orochimaru dealt again. So yeah, those are Naruto's buffs. As Naruto would intercept Orochimaru would scowl, thinking that this was just a random getting, until Naruto whirlwind stepped behind Orochimaru and used his staff to begin to fight Orochimaru. As Orochimaru would, after a small scuffle with Naruto, would recognize Naruto from the newest part of the bingo book, as Orochimaru would say, "I didn't expect to see you here, Shadow Fox, A-rank ninja, or A-rank Ronin, that is wanted for by the Hidden Mist for slaying a group of Anbu. I remember the report saying that you also took out the A-rank Darkness Swordsman Kokaro. Interesting. I suppose it'll be fun to toy with you, though I don't have much time," Orochimaru would state, instantly changing his mood, as he would rip off his own disguise as Shadow Fox, which is what I'll be referring to Naruto while he would have his mask on. Shadow Fox would charge at Orochimaru at fast speeds that shocked Orochimaru. The Orochimaru quickly got over his shock and jumped into the air to avoid it. As Orochimaru jumped down, using a boost of chakra to blast him towards the ground at where Naruto was. Naruto swiftly dodged the slash as Orochimaru would, as falling down, he would put a palm on the ground and whirling towards Naruto, delivering another slash, which Naruto would block with his metal rods, as Naruto would activate multiple minor ninjutsu in order to help him in his fight. As Naruto would activate Chakra Run and Hardening along with Sharpening Wind. By the way, right now I'm just taking out my notebook with all of the jutsu since I think I'll need it here. Naruto would then use multiple barrier seals to block most of Orochimaru's attacks, as Orochimaru would use triple snake summoning 3 giant snakes, which all charged towards Naruto. Naruto would create 2 shadow clones, one of them shooting a compressed water stream while the other shot a wind disaster wave, which managed to combine, shooting a powerful and fast blast of compressed water. As this compressed water blast stream would manage to take down one of the snakes easily, smashing it into pieces, as Naruto would appear behind another, taking out a kunai and throwing it, enhancing it with wind chakra with wind sharpening, and attaching a triple power explosives tag, then using the Shadow Shuriken Jutsu, multiplying it to 10. As this quickly took out the rest of the snakes, as Naruto realized that Orochimaru was getting close to the tower, Naruto would use his whirlwind step as much as he can to begin to make it there, until Naruto realized that at this pace, Orochimaru would reach Team 7 before he got there, as Naruto would use Creation Release and would create a giant fox, around half the size of an average house. As Naruto would go on this fox and would let Kurama take over it, as the fox would move at fast speeds and easily catch up with Orochimaru, firing a tailed beast bomb at him. As Orochimaru barely dodged it, but it quickly exploded, knocking Orochimaru back towards Naruto. As the nine-tailed fox would stab Orochimaru as much times as possible with all 9 tails, as Naruto would dispel the fox, saying thanks to Kurama. Orochimaru would get up, shedding his skin, as Orochimaru would say, "Darn you, Shadow Fox. I'll kill you if it's the last thing I do." As Orochimaru would take out 2 dead bodies or 2 bodies out of nowhere, and would summon the first and second Hokage. The first Hokage at 10% and the second Hokage at 20%. As Orochimaru didn't want it to be enough for the Anbu to sense the direct area of where they were. As Naruto was surrounded in a wooden area in a forest of, deep forest emergence, as Tobirama would also attack Naruto. Naruto would use his newly discovered wind or rain release to start a rain that he had been preparing. As Naruto would use Windstorm along with creating 2 more blood clones, each with 20% of his chakra, as one used Torrent Release, 5-headed Hydra, and the other used multiple level 3 barrier seals, and also created a few water clones that had super powered explosive tags on them. As Orochimaru, with the 2 reanimations, had still been able to fight Shadow Fox, as the rain would finally manage to begin to destroy Hashirama, as the water clones would block off the way for Tobirama and explode, as the sealing Naruto Shadow clone blood clone, would seal Hashirama away, destroying the minor deep forest emergence. As all of his blood clones were focused on Tobirama, able to seal him away, while the rainstorm or battlefield of rain was after Orochimaru. As Orochimaru realized he had to escape, Orochimaru used the reverse summoning jutsu and finally escaped. So yeah, that's the fight. As Naruto would take off would remain with his mask on, as Naruto sensed another ninja coming nearby. As Naruto recognized the chakra signature as the first Proctor. As Anko would arrive, Anko would see Shadow Fox standing there with multiple dead snakes. As Anko would say, "Shadow Fox, I didn't expect you to be here. So I guess I should say thanks for slaying the other snakes. Though I'll have to ask you kindly to leave. Otherwise, things will have to get rough." As Anko took out a kunai and prepared to summon a few snakes of her own. As Shadow Fox would just look towards Anko and would realize that he wasn't able to use any of the techniques that Konoha would recognize as his own. Luckily, not much people knew about his jutsu. They didn't know about any of his rain jutsu, so that was a plus. So Naruto would decide that since he was probably gonna use his rain jutsu against Gaara in the final round of the Chunin exams, he couldn't show off more of his Ranjutsu, so would decide to rely on the basics and manage to defeat Anko using them. Though in the end, Anko nearly caught Naruto off guard with a hidden shadow snakes, which caused Naruto to use a demonic mimicry, demonic claw, then demonic mimicry, demonic whirlwind. Then in order to counteract the poison, demonic mimicry, instant regeneration. As Naruto / Shadow Fox would whirlwind step behind Anko and would knock Anko out, then casting a minor genjutsu due to his newly found over 100 chakra control points. Naruto would put a genjutsu over Anko to make her forget about this, as Naruto knew that Anbu were near and would quickly escape the scene. As Naruto would finally escape, Naruto would replace the blood clone there with himself and would begin to recover. After 5 hours of rest, Naruto healed up all of his CP and health. So yeah, Naruto was pretty much safe and prepared. Anyways, matches go the same as they do in the original timeline. Hooray. Other than the fact that Kabuto is dead in this timeline uniquely. Wait, no, that wasn't in this timeline. Or was it? Nah, it's not in this timeline. It's Mizuki that's dead. Anyways, I just got this what if mixed up with what if Naruto had the power of the 4 cardinal heroes. Luckily, I didn't make anything messed up. So yeah, Naruto would... everything went the same basically, except now the new fights. Yakumo versus Ino. Ino would try to trap Yakumo in her mind transfer, but yeah. Yakumo traps Ino in a genjutsu, making her have cut wounds all over her and her to give up. Next comes with Sasuke versus... what was his name again? Yoroi? Or who was he? Anyways, random sound ninja, blah blah blah, Kabuto's teammate, whatever. Anyways, Sasuke would absolutely destroy him with a body flicker, a few punches, then appearing behind him with a fireball, ending the fight. Now, Kiba versus Naruto. Also, Gaara was like, I want your blood, Uzumaki. Well, what happened to Gaara in this what if again? I don't know. I'll just think that Gaara still hates Naruto. Man, I'm dumb in this gaming. Anyways, I'll just assume that Gaara still hates Wano. Does he? Nah. Naruto convinced Gaara that what he was doing was bad, so Gaara wouldn't go psycho and break Lee's legs this time. So yeah. Anyways, this would then, well, that concludes the tuning exams. Oh yeah, Kiba versus Naruto. This is how it would play out. You should just give up, Dobe. You can't beat any of us. As Naruto would say, Kiba, I clearly remember the fact that I'm not the dope anymore. As Kiba would say, you fluked the getting exam. As Naruto would just reply with, because I saw that Mizuki-sensei was being suspicious. As Kiba would say, enough talk, I'll just handle you myself now. Akamaru, you don't have to intervene. I'll squash the dough like a bug. As Kiba would charge towards Naruto, Naruto would easily dodge and would say, were you really this weak, Kiba? As Kiba would say, darn you, Naruto. Fine then, Akamaru, let's do this. As Kiba would use the man-beast mimicry and would continue to fight Naruto. Though Kiba's speed was good for a Genin and even rivaled some newer tuning, Kiba wasn't strong enough to match up against Naruto. Though Naruto was holding back somewhat and just began to dodge, Naruto did attack somewhat and would decide that Kiba had enough time to show off, as Naruto would knock Kiba back with a spirit strike. As Kiba would say, "Darn you, Naruto! Akamaru, let's finish this." As Akamaru would let out a whimper, Kiba would manage to convince Akamaru that they couldn't do this. So yeah. Anyways, what would happen now is Kiba and Akamaru would use the Fang over Fang going towards Naruto, and would simply take out his own rod and would use, hardening rod, sharpening wind, along with some, spiral rod, and would counter the Fang over Fang and would say, "I guess this is your limit, huh, Kiba? Guess I'll just end this now." And Naruto would say, infinite compressed water stream, or infinite water stream, as an infinite stream of water would go towards Kiba and Akamaru. As Naruto would cover the top of it with chakra in order to prevent Kiba and Akamaru to get up, which began to drown them, as Naruto had sensed they were unconscious, as Naruto would win the fight. Anyways, this is how we're gonna end off the What If video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you didn't already. And peace out.